All right, run a tight ship. A whole slew of the questions are going to be, all right, there's a project that's going on, you're running your teams, you've got consultants, you've got the owner, you've got the GC and their subs. There's a question about X, and how are you going to answer that question? And inevitably, the answer is going to be, we're going to answer that at our biweekly meeting. It's regular. There's a process. Everything is straightforward. There's a design log. You've gone through, you've made all of your process clear. There's very good communication. So when I say run a tight ship, what I'm really talking about here is you're not flying by the seat of your pants. You're not just making design decisions on the fly. You're reviewing them. You're getting sign-offs. You're finding a system that works for everybody. You're making it so that people can talk to each other. You have a straightforward way of kind of making these things happen. So who's doing the meeting minutes? Well, it might be the GC, but it's not a bad idea if it's you. So meeting minutes, design logs, which means you're logging every time something changes in the design. Client calls up and says, hey, I don't like that part. Could you change it to this other thing, right? You're logging it down. And part of the reason you're doing that is just so that everybody else on the team knows it. But the other part of the reason you're doing that is 4 months from now when somebody says, wait, why the hell is the bathroom door opening that way? You go back through your design log and, oh, there it is. The client asked for it, right? So that you're not only keeping things tight in the moment, but you're keeping them tight in the long run, which is where litigation and other kinds of problems can come up, or just helping people understand how the decisions were made. So third-party reviews, showing the work to somebody maybe on staff, but somebody who wasn't involved in the project, so that you get a good chance to sort of look through the information. Always be coordinating, so I'm just going to say with the program, with the budget, with the code. So you're always looking back to see, well, we wrote this in the program, are we still doing that? Our original budget said X, are we still there? When we did our code analysis back at the beginning, we thought this was going to happen. Is that still in play, right? So at schematic design, design development, all of those things, you're always coordinating back to those things, and you're logging those changes through the meeting minutes, through the regular meetings, through all of those chances of communication. You're making sure that everybody is part of the communication process. If you find that you have gone through an entire process and you're about to bid everything out and the client has never really signed off on your design, that is a terrible situation to be in. And it's happened to me. It's one of those things, it's easy to happen. Like you just start rolling along and you just never had the moment to really sit down and go through it. And they think, oh yeah, you're a good architect, it'll all be fine. But you have to formally go through it so that they have the opportunity to say, oh wait, no, that's not what I meant, right? Okay, one quick aspect of that is understand how those meetings change over the span of time. So in that first phase of the design, these are meetings with your team, and then meetings with the client. So there's the client, and then your team again, and then you're meeting with the client again. So they get a chance to sign off, and the team is sort of this constant meeting pattern so that everybody has a chance to see what's going on and to have input at the appropriate times. And then the same thing is going to happen again at the construction phase. You're going to meet with the GC and with the client. Everybody has a chance. It's regularized. Everybody knows when it's coming. That's how the exam is going to ask you about it. I guarantee you get 10, 15 questions that are essentially the same question, which is, how do we handle this situation? And the answer is going to be regular meetings, or take good meeting minutes, or use the design log, or something very simple and straightforward about regularizing the process.
Before we move on there, just one thought. Some of the topics you just touched on will probably fall under the practice management exam. And just as a reminder, everyone, again, in our video lectures, we certainly cover that in tons of depth. But next month, we will be doing an ARE Live podcast on that. I think Clay just posted a link to that, so if you want to register, you can do that.